live on the south coast of South Africa. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am in Stilbaai and it's a magnificent day. There's Cape Town and Stilbaai is over there. We are about a 4-hour drive from Cape Town and 26 kilometers from the N2, and I've arrived at Paradise. Before we explore more of this beautiful town, I have my usual favor to ask. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons if you haven't already. Your support is greatly appreciated. What happens when you hit the like and subscribe buttons is you tell the algorithm that I exist and that I make videos, and it promotes my videos to a wider audience. I've read that Stilbaai is often referred to as the Bay of Sleeping Beauty. It is pretty still, it's pretty quiet. Let's just check out Harbour Restaurant and Deli, maybe grab a coffee and see what they have to dish up for us here in Stilbaai. We've got a bit of a surfboard theme, that tells you a lot about the town already. Now we're talking. Time for a quick cappuccino and then we'll head off to the tourist information office, get some more information about the town, and I believe there's also some fish traps in the area. We might come back for that a bit later, but for now just enjoy this view here from the harbour. Now just checking out some of the interesting things on the menu here. They've got a springbok carpaccio. Now that's quite unique. The mains, I bet they catch some really nice fish in this part of the world. There's a great angling community here, hengel clubs. I went for a small cappuccino, 35 rand. Here we go, cheers to Stilbaai. Alright, armed with a cappuccino, and I've got my vehicle here somewhere. Let's go and explore more of the town. You can see there's some charters and some phone numbers. They do have an office here as well at the harbour, keeping an eye on things. Lots of trucks bringing produce in or supplies, and some stands here. You can see Hannah's Kombuis. There's an ice cream vendor, and behind there Nick's Restaurant. Closed at the moment, but some of the prices there: vet cook, ham and cheese. And yeah, it's not exactly ice cream season, but there are the prices, 30 rands a cup.
Wat is dit channel?
Ek sal vir julle 'n kaartjie gee hierso, wil jy explore?
En ons laat hom dit kyk, want hy is YouTube heeltyd.
O, okay, lekker. Daar's hy. Ag, dankie man vir julle vriendelikheid.
Nuwe channel om te kyk.
Daar's hy, asseblief. Mooi gaan.
Dankie.
And yeah, some of the things for sale here. Cheese griller there, 25, Russian roll 45. And of course some classic South African drinks here as well, liquefruit, Oros. So their surname is Durant, so I actually played around with the wording, Mixe Restaurant, as in restaurant. You've got the Goukou River running through the town. It also divides Stilbaai into Stilbaai East on that side of the river, and you've got Stilbaai West on this side. And it looks like a fairly sizable town, at least in terms of geographic area. I've read there are 7,500 permanent residents in Stilbaai. That includes Jongensfontein and Melkoutfontein. But it feels a little bit low to me. It looks like this is a fairly big town. Maybe there are just many holiday homes and that they don't have permanent occupants. Check this, a pee-pee clip for honde, a pee stone for dogs. Peeing encouraged here in Stilbaai. I'm just on my way to the tourist information office, and interestingly, or bizarrely even, they are situated in a residential area. You can see there, Tourism Bureau, Palingat Opstal Homestead. There are daily feedings as well at 11, and hopefully we can get some more information at the office itself. But yeah, this is life in Stilbaai in a residential area. Look there, Jagersfontein. Oh wow, of course I visited Jagersfontein in the Free State. I wonder if there's a connection. Yeah, you have the birds chirping. You can Kinda hear the sea a little bit in the back. Life is very peaceful here. I can actually feel how Stilbaai got its name. How quiet it is. Just listen to the birds. A nice harmonious atmosphere. Maybe that's a nice word to use. Peaceful. And we've made it to some information. You can see there with a big I. Tourism Bureau, Toerisme Bureau. And there's also a museum here, the Blombos Archaeology Museum. So lots of stuff for us to do and to see around here. And I believe I also have a coffee shop, a little restaurant here. So whilst you read up about your information, you can come and have a coffee or a drink here. Check this miniature street library. Take one, leave one. So you can take a book, you just need to replace it. What a wonderful initiative here in Stilbaai. So you can never run out of reading materials. Let's check out more of a restaurant here. They've got a fireplace, a pizza oven, and some seating areas here. Looks like a really nice place to come and relax. Some locally produced love hearts and a nice garden here with a little water feature. Just more of the interior. You can see there, nice decoration and some books for South Spirit of the Garden Route. The N2 is very much your gateway to the garden route. And how's this for a shot? I bet this could have won various awards. Nature photography. Wow, Stilbaai Harbour. And it's for sale as well, I see there, 1,350 rand. Yeah. What a wonderful view here with a bush and the water feature, the pond over there. You can sip a coffee and watch the eels being fed. And yes, I mentioned it's a little bit strange perhaps that the Tourism Bureau is in a residential area, but if you know the history it makes a lot of sense, because this is the oldest building in Stilbaai West, 1814. Alright, so if you want to feed the eels it's 25 rand per person. 1814, the oldest building here in Stilbaai West, and renovations ongoing, and they've got a wagon exhibit as well. Maybe we can check that out before we feed the eels. Oh, some beautiful trees as well here. Large trees. What have we got here? A wild fig. Yeah, very imposing, ominous looking tree perhaps. This is a female milkwood and it's about 500 years old. Just walking here around the Tourist Information Office with its beautiful thatch roof. You've got a little rondavel here as well. A restroom. Look at this. Stilbaai as a place where the wagon and the boat come together. The ox wagon was used for general transport in Stilbaai since 1883. So the wagon as an early form of transport in the area. There you've also got the horse-drawn funeral wagon. You can see used in the Riversdale and Albertina district between the years 1880 and 1920. There you go. Similar to the one I guess we saw in Swellendam with the big wheels. And an old fishing boat here. The houtboot van Familie de la Bat. So this was a boat that belonged to the family de la Bat. And the boat was built in 1934. So quite a bit of history here. And here's a statue of a Stilbaai point. Stilbaai punt. And more of the information office over there. Yeah, they do have a very nice information office here with lots of information. I believe Meer is a prominent surname in this part of the world. We've got a book there by Andre Roux. Naomi van Skalkwyk. You can see the Jongensfontein, and I have come across this book from Helene Steyn in the library. This book gave me a good introduction to the area for sure. A lot of the local history that is documented here. You can see there the development of Stilbaai and a large holiday theme as well. You can see there holiday in the time of the ox wagon. Of course Stilbaai was a prominent holiday town over many years and still is today. Various guides here as well, Dirk Stoffberg. Lots of information. Oh, here's a useful map to orientate ourselves. You can see there's the information office, and you've got a Stilbaai West and a Stilbaai East on both sides of the Goko River. We've got Jongensfontein, which we will explore in another video. Check that out. When you buy from a small business, an actual person does a little happy dance. Buy a donkey. And just look at the beautiful art here for sale. There's some information on some of the artists. Let's check out the shop here. Locally made stuff. You've got some belts, various other bits and bobs here, scrunchies, and there's someone doing some exercise by the looks of it. Various bracelets and key rings. Looks like some cloth. There's a shoulder bag for 100 rand. Well, different prices, I guess. 120 for this one. Oh wow, just look at the blue sky on this painting and the water, children playing, adults having a tan, and another beautiful scene there, and some playthings for the dogs as well. Look at that. Ek lief Stilbaai, I love Stilbaai. There you go, Stilbaai, Stilbaai bag. Yeah, wonderful artistic touch here in this shop. Just look at the detail there. And these are fridge magnets. Ijskastmagnete of Stilbaai. Matchboxes as well, with some scenes from the area. 15 rand. Some stones painted different colours. We've got various jams and coffee as well, and the fynbos honey. Stilbaai bags and Stilbaai t-shirts. Those are the kid sizes, different colors. Yeah, lots of variety, lots of things for sale here. Various photos here of various decades. Look here, connecting a call back in the day. An old sewing machine. Life in the old days. Oh wow, a framed photo here of a minister and his family, the first minister in Stilbaai. Oh, looks like we've got the church clock here. Check that out. Forgotten monuments. So the Dutch Reformed Church of Stilbaai dates back to 1966, and the clock was produced in 1965 in the Netherlands. So wow, there we go. Is that the entire mechanism? Oh, what a piece of history. Stilbaai history. And I guess now time just stands still on it. And here we enter the Blombos Museum of Archaeology. We've got various framed pieces of information here. You can see there's Stilbaai next to the Indian Ocean. You've got a map there showing the location of Hessequa rock art sites. The rock art of a Hessequa. An enlarged photo and an actual size of the paintings of the art there. Look at all the materials they use for the paintings. Water, plant sap, egg white, fat or blood. Wow. That actually puts it all in perspective. If you're an archaeologist, this will be heaven on earth. Just look here. Africa, our original home. And information there about Blombos Museum of Archaeology. This museum, in collaboration with other institutes, it presents an exhibition on unique archaeological discoveries from 3 cave sites in the Southern Cape. These sites, occupied by early Homo sapiens between 120,000 and 50,000 years ago, mark a key period in the evolution of human behavior, modern human behavior. Here you go, very pictorial. Lots of information on display here. Mother Africa. Welcome home. Yes, thank you very much. And some excavating evidence. You can see various films there, the Blombos cave excavations. So you can spend some time here, watch some movies. Ostrich eggshell story. These fragments of broken ostrich eggshell water containers were engraved by our ancestors 65,000 years ago. All the tools and implements people back in the day used. Now this is a very long time ago, of course, but for the time, bow and arrow, that would have been top of the range technology. On top there's the Hofmeyer skull, which was discovered in Hofmeyer, South Africa. It's about 36,000 years old. I also got myself a map here at the Tourist Information Office. You can see that's where we are, next to Jagersfontein and close to Little England. We're on the western side of the river, the Goukou River. And the plan for today, well, there is no specific plan. I'm just keen to see as much of the town as I can, but I'll focus on quality rather than quantity. Maybe Morris Point and the ancient fish traps. And then later on in the day we can probably go to Stilbaai East and explore some of the beaches there, Lappiesbaai, and go to the Preekstoel, the pulpit. And here's one of the eels that we're going to feed later. I've just been told his name is Piet. Hello Piet. Bly te ken. Of course, Stilbaai famous for the eels, the palings in Afrikaans. Stilbaai Tourism Bureau, the only tame eels in South Africa. Yeah, I say, dis is wat hulle eet, ne? Lewer.
Are you guys only English?
Sy is, ek is ook Afrikaans.
Okay. Ek het 'n bietjie van uitgeweet gehad. So welcome to Stilbaai Tourism. Today we're going to feed our freshwater eels. We feed our eels every day at 11 o'clock. Ons voer hulle slegs as ons besoekers kry. So thanks to you guys, they will get food today. As hulle nie gevoer word deur die kantore, hulle kan oorleef. Hulle is 'n natuurlike spesies. So then they will eat the crabs and also the tadpoles in the water. So that are their natural food. En met dit bygesê, as gevolg van die kos wat hulle eet in die dam, het hulle dan ook bakterieë in hulle mond. So indien hulle vir ons byt, kan jy dan infeksie kry. So daarom is dit net die gidse wat vir hulle kan voer en ongelukkig nie die besoekers nie. Hier sal vir meer as 125 jaagpalings in die spesifieke dammetjie. What we feed them is normal raw chicken livers. That is also sponsored by OK Foods here in Stilbaai as well. At the moment we have 9 eels. Every one of them has a different name. Their names are just given based on their personalities. So the species eels that we have is the Angola Mozambique species eel. So every one of them, they migrate to the east of Madagascar to pair. They don't pair at all in a freshwater pond. They swim all the way to Madagascar, and that can take them a year to complete that route. They can only leave the freshwater pond between the age of 20 and 25 years old. Here's an underground tunnel that leads down to the river, and then automatically they have to make their way to the sea, and then they will swim from the sea to the east of Madagascar. Unfortunately, when the adult eels leave the freshwater pond, they don't come back at all. They die when they lay their eggs. But the interesting part is how we always get eels back in the freshwater pond. The baby eels are born and known as eelwers and 5 centimeters long, and they will swim back to a freshwater pond where the mother or father has lived before. In eel language, we will name it, they are born with a genetic GPS. So they will automatically swim back to where their parents has lived before, but it only depends on whose genes were the strongest, and they will live in that freshwater pond for another 20 till 25 years before they make their way back to Madagascar.
Oh look, I see the actually lives in the park. Yeah, she wants me. She's there.
And we will usually only give them 2 till 3 chicken livers per eel.
Kom baby.
Are they snappy?
Yes.
Oh, there's the other one.
Dis nou great, baie dankie hoor. Jo.
Net julle moet beklein met mekaar.
nog geval also.
Hallo nou. Oh,
Jo, hulle is
zwaar.
groot. Nee. Zwaar.
En zwaar. Medium. Here's a small one. We have 3 in front. You're lucky today.
Wow.
So the enetjie is die oudste enetjie. That's Petra that I lift up now. This one is Scully and the smaller one is Gary.
Nice catch.
And also swim back up and fall into
So this one is the side that is not so good. Close.
Okay, this was the special needs one.
Yes.
Okay.
But his smell is very good.
So
He usually smells the chicken livers.
okay.
He's the
The
lucky
last
one
bikkie.
today.
Got all the.
So as hulle dit nou nie op een slag eet nie, dan sal dit is nou in die water, dan kry hulle dit weer
Yes.
later, né? Yes. Here's the Dutch Reformed Church in Stilbaai. The exterior is definitely something. Very beautiful. And a nice garden as well here. The church ground. Alright, I managed to get in, and here you can see the stained glass and how beautiful it looks with the sun. And we also have some illustrations here, some works of art. We've got Adam and Eve, Jacob and Joseph, Ruth and Naomi. You've got King David, and there's David and Jonathan as well. Very interesting. Let's go in here. Hallo Elma. Baie dankie dat jy vir my hier so wys. Ja, jy sê jy werk al lankie.
Ja, 29 jaar.
29 years.
Ja.
Daar sê, dis 'n lang tyd, hè?
Sê.
Daar sê, baie dankie. Waardeer. And that's Elma. She's been here for 29 years. Can you believe it? There's the gallery and the organ at the top there. Sê vir my Elma, hoeveel mense sit gewoonlik hier op 'n Sondag?
Dat kan ek nou
Weet jy nie. Dit lyk of hy nogal baie mense.
Ja, kyk,
Vat hierso.
Dienste op 'n Sondag.
Elma just told me they've got 2 services here every Sunday morning. So I'm not sure what the capacity is of a church. Maybe you can hazard a guess in the comments. It looks fairly sizable. Piano. And the pulpit over there. And here is the pulpit, the preekstoel. Not to be confused with a preekstoel we will see later. It's a rock formation on the beach. Yes, this is the view from the pulpit. And they actually have a coffee morning here at the church today. Coffee at the cross for various eatings. Look at this. Things for sale. They've got milk tart. They've got cupcakes. They've got muffins, quiche. Elke, that's it. Kijk maar zo, ja. R5. Much cheaper than at the coffee shop here at the church. And the Cook Sisters Classic South African. Only R5. What a great initiative here from the church. And curry and rice.
Curry and rice.
I see, wonderlijk. Yeah, great initiative here in Stilbaai. You can see there for R50. You won't get that in any restaurant. All right, that was the Dutch Reformed Church. Let's go and explore more of this beautiful town. Now we are talking. I've stumbled across another A+ view here in South Africa. Check this out. The Indian Ocean. You've got the harbour. You've got bush. You've got blue sky. And you've got more nature on the other side there as well. Nice houses. Many of those will be holiday homes. People waiting for a December month to come and have a great time here in Stilbaai. Other people living here, of course. This is whale country, of course, depending on the season. And we also have some other friends here having a great time and having a brilliant view of the Indian Ocean. And of course we have many things to see in the town. We won't be able to see everything, we'll need to cherry pick. So the southern right whales, sometimes they come to this part of the world, and also some people come here to declare their love here in Stilbaai. Check the Stilbaai love locks. Pieter and Hannetjie de Jager, they retired here in Stilbaai 13th of September 2024. Congratulations to you and to many others declaring your love here, or I guess your retirement date. Okay, I've arrived here near the fish traps, and there's some information for us here, including a national monument. Oh wow, here you go. The stone-built structures in the intertidal zone in the foreground at this spot represent a legacy of the indigenous Khoisan inhabitants of the southern Cape Coast, who built and used such enclosures as tidal fish traps. There you go. For many thousands of years these people lived on the coast, but the traps are probably not older than 2,000 to 3,000 years. Wow, still pretty old, as sea levels before then were different to the present. When the first white colonists arrived in the late 1700s and early 1800s, the indigenous Khoisan, called strandlopers by the colonists in view of their hunter-gathering lifestyle, were still working the fish traps. Wow, so you can read more about that in your own time. But fish traps, 2,000 to 3,000 years, which we'll see in front there. Wow. Just before we go there, more information here about the marine protected area. Here's another impression of Stilbaai then. They've got lots of information on display. Look there, Stilbaai Nature Reserve, officially opened by the Honourable Tasneem Essop, 23 November 2006. Alright, let's go and see what it's all about. We've got more information here about the various trails. Wow, there are just so many different trails, beautiful areas to go and walk. I am spoiled for choice. In fact, even here I've got a decision. Do I go there? Do I go here? I reckon let's first try it over here and see if we can find the fish traps. I think breathtaking is a good word to use here. Stilbaai's own Giant's Causeway. It looks a little bit like the Giant's Causeway in Northern Ireland. The only difference is the shape of the stones. They're not octagonal, but nonetheless, let's go and get ourselves some fish traps. And the tide is pretty low, so hopefully we'll be able to see plenty of them. Could that be one of them? One of the pools that they've created? I'm actually not too sure what to look out for. These probably look more like the real deal. Can definitely see some man-made structures, so they would have used these pools or the traps to catch fish. And fish traps or no fish traps, this is an amazing walk here along the beach. And look at all the thatch roof houses there, and the roofs have all got a particular shape. Don't know if that has to do with building regulations, but there's certainly an element of uniformity there. Yeah, wow, okay. This makes sense. Almost looks like patches. Various fish traps here in Stilbaai. And I guess some furry friends have also come here for a walk. Looks like it's animal friendly. And yes, the Indian Ocean is supposed to be warmer than the Atlantic. Well, let's go, let's have a feel. You know what, it is a little bit warm, but maybe that's just because we are close to the shore, or actually on the shore. Indian Ocean supposed to be warmer than the Atlantic. It certainly looks pretty peaceful at the moment. Low tide. Part of me feels like skipping the town and just walk here. I have a silent walking tour along the beach. This is absolutely brilliant. Listening to the sounds of nature, watching the waves crash against the rocks. Look at the dunes with the plants there. Absolutely brilliant. It is a mental health booster for sure. Of course, Stilbaai and nearby Jongensfontein, they are prime holiday destinations for many. And I can absolutely see why. This is my first time in Stilbaai. I did visit Jongensfontein when I was a little boy. Of course, my dad's brother, he had a house in Jongensfontein. I think we spent a few days there when I was a young boy. But yes, I'm a first-time visitor here, so I am keen to explore more of the area. Look, you've even got a container ship there on the sea, looking pretty relaxed. Not a worry in the world, in this part of the world. Look here, even a little table with some seating areas for you to come and relax. Have a view of the Indian Ocean. All right, thank you, fish traps. There they are on the map. This was a great experience. Here you've got a bird hide. Lots of birds in the area, of course. And oh, there they are. The sanctuary for our feathered friends. Roland Rudd Hut. Okay. So this is for the use of bird watchers only. Okay, I'm not a bird watcher, so I may not be able to use the hut. I can certainly give you a magnificent shot here. Look at the beauty. Look at all the birds there on the water and over there on the branch. Living the dream. First impressions of Stilbaai is definitely a nature lover's dream. Not just eels, but also birds. What a brilliant combination of ocean, bush, sand, and also the ponds here. It is clear to me that Stilbaai takes their conservation very seriously, and they need to be applauded for that. I can imagine if you're a local and you're part of a bird watching club, come and hang out here at the hut, watch some birds, maybe afterwards grab a coffee in the harbour, or go and walk on the beach, or even any of the other hiking trails. What a wonderful part of the world this is. I have to say I am very, very impressed. If you're from Stilbaai or the surrounding areas, let me know in the comments what it's like to live here. Now you get A+ views and then you get A++ views. I think I need to start to get a ranking system for all these views I highlight. They can't all be A+. I have to say this one is extraordinary. A vast Indian Ocean, and I think there is a lookout point somewhere here. Morris Point. Don't know if it is where that vehicle is. In fact, let's go and check out Morris Point there at the bottom. Alright, my highly sophisticated online maps told me that this is Morris Point. We've arrived. I would say the view from that side looking down is maybe a little bit better. Or maybe I was at the wrong point. Maybe I should be looking down here. This does look pretty spectacular. I guess you can see more from this point. I still think the viewing point from earlier was better. Yes, just another shot here of Bay, the beach. So you've got the fish traps on that side and the houses with the thatched roofs. Where's our container ship? Oh, there it is, still parked here in the bay. I've read that 2 ships ran aground here in Stilbaai in the year 1942 during the Second World War. That was also a time when Stilbaai experienced less visitors and less development. But after the war, the town's development picked up again. And some seagulls chilling out as well. I'm really pleased to be exploring here during low tide, because now you can get a great idea of the nature. They've got some public braai facilities here as well, so put a choppy or a fish on the coals, have a look at the ocean, and maybe come and sit and eat your lunch or your dinner here. What a lifestyle, eh? We've also got a surf club here in Stilbaai. Look at that. Surfing since 2013, surface code. And this is the view they've got here. I've said hi. Some people on the boards already out there. Stilbaai is an example of another hidden gem in South Africa. I guess at least for overseas visitors. Maybe not so much for the locals. If you're not from South Africa and you're watching this video, you can put Stilbaai on your bucket list. I can absolutely recommend it. Heck, I can recommend most of the places in South Africa. And because you'll be spending pounds or euros, that will go a long way, because the exchange rate is in your favor. Yes, I'm of course very passionate about this country. We do have our problems. There's no question about that. But I'll tell you what, quality of life in this part of the world is second to none. It really is extremely underrated. More surfers having some chill time. There's another braai area, another beautiful beach here. You are spoiled for choice with regards to beaches by the looks of it. I've just stopped here next to the road, and there's some sports fields here, a rugby field. You've got the Stilbaai Lions at the back there. And it's nice to see the netball courts here as well. Yes, I'm a big rugby fan, but many people might not know that I'm also a huge netball fan. I follow the New South Wales Swifts in Australia. They've been doing very well this year. They've had a few interesting seasons, shall we put it in that way. But I think they are having a great one this year. And of course here they are nurturing South Africa's netball talent for the future. And our rugby stars, here's to winning a 5th World Cup. I really hope that we will be able to do the three-peat. So I can just imagine people here in Stilbaai celebrating the Springboks as well. Rugby, netball, and also some skateboarding by the looks of it. So you may not be into surfing or bird watching or feeding the eels, but you can come here and channel your inner Tony Hawk. Right here next to the rugby field you also have the angling club, the Hengel Club. Angling is of course big business and a big activity. Yeah, this is angling country in the south coast. This is a fisherman's dream. Look at this, you even got the scissors.
So we've got a 30% sale now as well. On everything.
Okay, yeah, awesome.
So it's our birthday sale.
All right.
Until the 15th of June.
How old are you now?
I'm 20.
No, the place.
Well, the shop has been established since 2005.
Oh, 2005, there you go.
So
well,
it's about
fishing.
20 years old, yeah.
Brilliant.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
I mean, it's almost as old as me.
And you got the right name as well, still, as in Stilbaai fishing. There you go.
Stilbaai fishing, and well, at the moment we're still working, but we're more than willing to help you guys out. We've got this cool light holders that you it's like that you put on your rod tip.
Yes.
During the evening times when you're going fishing. Okay. So when a fish pulls you, you'll be able to see it in the your rod going down, which is an awesome tool. Wow. And then for choker, you've got your heavier stainless steel choker hammers. As you can feel, it's a bit more top heavy than your lighter choker hammers.
This one looks bigger, but it's not.
It looks bigger, but it's not as heavy. That's why this is a bit more expensive. Right. But I mean, you'll flatten your choker a lot easier. Yeah, so you get what you pay for.
Absolutely.
And then descaling it. It's not a what do you call a bicycle pedal?
Yes, yes.
But you use it to.
It does look like a bicycle pedal.
It does, yeah,
it?
yeah. But you use it to scale your fish.
Wow.
And then you've got split ring pliers.
Oh, split ring pliers, so it's not scissors.
You can use it as a scissor. You use it to cut your braid or your leader lines.
I'm getting a technical education.
Yeah, no, but I'm also, you learn it from scratch as you go.
You know a lot, man. Yeah, it's brilliant. How long have you been working here?
I mean, this is my first year.
First year?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I get to work with top anglers.
Are you from Stilbaai?
Not at all. I'm actually from Mpumalanga. Ended up here on Grace. That's all, mate.
Yeah, but there's been a big influx of people from Gauteng and to all parts of the Western Cape, isn't it?
No, for sure.
No, but it's great, man. Yeah. What else? So you've got different lengths of fishing rods?
Yeah, so we cater for pretty much every facet except for fly fishing, obviously. But
yes,
if we get to remove some of our stock, we could maybe decide to cater for those as well. But I mean, everything from rock and surf fishing, estuary fishing. We even do deep sea offshore fishing.
Can you fish in the river here in the Gouko?
Of course you can.
Yeah, thanks for showing me around, man. I appreciate this.
It's a massive pleasure. So for your oaks that enjoys your non-eds, we've got everything. The question is, what don't we have? We've got mullets, we've got mackies, we've got yellowtail, we've got pike, and then these oaks, they're probably chasing the edibles, Kalyoen and so on, because I mean it is Kalyoen season now. Red bait, prawns, choka. Obviously we've got exports, we've got imports,
as well,
and then these cool squiddos,
Wow, as well.
Especially for the pensioners, because not everyone can buy these imports or exports. So
if you're a bit cash strapped, maybe that's
that's But I mean, what's nice about this import local choka, it's 170 per kilo, and this is 400 rand per kilo. Wow. It's quite interesting. You won't even get this standard of choka or calamari at your restaurant.
Yes, I almost feel like just putting this on a braai.
I actually know oaks that if they don't manage to catch their fish, instead of eating the fish, they somehow eat the bait.
So there you go. If I can't catch the fish, I'll just eat the bait. That's a good saying.
Yeah. So,
nice one.
And as you can see,
wow, it's amazing now that I stand here. Just how tall, how long these fishing rods are.
This is a 15-foot rod, but it comes in 3 pieces.
Oh yes, okay, there you go.
And
you can take it off.
We've got a massive range from our more graphite pure rods like our Horizons and our Sarkanas, right through to our cheaper.
Nice.
Yeah.
Lots of different colors as well, so you can. You're spoiled for choice.
We do. How can I say, promote local talent. So as you can see, these are all locals here from Stilbaai.
So you're celebrating the big catches of the locals.
That's the thing, and at the end of the day, it's a dream, we're selling the dream.
Can you imagine how he felt when he caught that one?
I mean,
the feeling he would have had.
The hours he put in, from studying the surf to studying the species.
A moment of joy.
Moment of joy. And I mean, for instance, there's
another local
with his.
Daar is hy Wimpy. Jy het mooi gevang daar so, joh.
It's almost, that thing's almost 80 kgs, eh? A massive fish that he caught here from our.
So how would he have pulled it, from the water? That's
you're gonna have to ask him.
Wow.
Like I said,
Wimpy het 'n lekker gym workout gekry daar, but yes, look at your prize.
No, yes,
you can just see how delighted he is.
And then there's Mike James. He's a fishing charter now overseas.
Yes, Mike.
He
done.
was also a local here, working here at this shop.
Yes.
And brilliant angler. So that's a beautiful leerie that he caught from the shore.
Yeah.
And then as you can see, right next to him is Carla. Also
Carla.
A lady, the catfishing Christian's wife.
Okay.
Yeah,
yes.
That's his wife. She worked here recently. That's the her PB Kalyoen that she caught here from our shores.
So can you imagine all these people went out fishing and they didn't know that they were going to catch.
That's the thing.
These big ones. You just never know, do you?
That's the beauty of fishing, is you can pitch up the day with the wrong tackle and still manage to catch your fish. Whereas and that's what I love about the fish. Every variable that you change makes a difference. We pride on our terminal tackle. So
terminal tackle.
as you can see, these
some
floats,
prices, about $60.
You know what's interesting about these floats? You only get them in South Africa. You don't like we actually distribute them in Australia and Ireland. So
what's the reason? Is just
no, they just don't. They don't supply them there.
Wow.
They don't have companies that make these
interesting.
floats.
It's almost like a fishing museum in a way.
Yeah,
got so much stuff here with all the stock. So I want to say thanks to James here for showing me around.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Nice meeting you.
I have crossed the Rubicon. I mean, the Goukou River here in Stilbaai. I am now in Stilbaai East. You can see there Stilbaai Buurtwag, the neighborhood watch of Stilbaai Oos. Stilbaai East. And my understanding is that traditionally this side of a river had a problem with drinking water, with fresh water, compared to the west, who had some very good drinking water. And that's one of the reasons why the west behind me has had a lot more development historically than the east. The wells that were dug on the east produced very brackish water, which made settling here less appealing. I've also read that there was a flood back in 1902, which also impacted people's decision making on where to build in future years. By the early 1930s though, there were many holiday homes on both sides of the river. And of course, with more houses came more traffic and more transport challenges. A huge development in Stilbaai in the 1930s was the construction of a ferry. In Helene Stein's book on Stilbaai, I read about a certain Marty Tennyson who built the ferry in the 1930s for about £700. The amount is unconfirmed. But that was a major development for Stilbaai. Suddenly, they could handle more traffic, more people visiting. Well, Marty's ferry was pulled across the river using cables and could carry 2 cars at once. And at the same time, the local council built a road for farmers on the river's western bank, so on the other side there, along with a gravel road to West Beach, making travel much easier for holiday makers. However, getting from the road's end through the sandy stretch to their homes was still a challenge. And the clever solution, they lay down a strip of fox wire or jakkalsdraad, and that helped them to navigate the road. So there you go, some of the transport history and the issues that Stilbaai has had to deal with over the years. Here's another restaurant in Stilbaai, the Seekombuis. And yes, this is fish country, there's no doubt about that. Let's go and check it out. It's just opposite the beach here, Lappiesbaai. Here we go, the Seekombuis. Let's go and have a look here. Oh, here you go, beautiful views of a beach. Look there, some decorations on the table, the protea. And you've got an outside space here, view of the Indian Ocean. There's even a playground for kids. And the iconic Lappiesbaai beach behind us here. Let's check out more of Lappiesbaai, famous beach here in Stilbaai. And in Helene Stein's book, I've read about Lappiesbaai as well. And she said that one of the earliest known historical camping spots was located where today's camping ground, Allen's Rust, is. I'm not sure where Allen's Rust is from here, but back then the site was covered with bushes such as these, right up to the high water mark, which meant that people had to clear space every time they wanted to camp. So I guess this was before holiday homes were really a thing. People used to come here from Riversdale, etc., and come and relax here. Maybe pitch up a camping tent. And because the campers used to hang their laundry over the bushes to dry, this area became known as Lappiesbaai, which roughly translates to Patch Bay. So back in the day, you would see all the lappies of clothing, all the patches of clothing along the bushes. And wow, let me just stop talking for a bit and admire this. A pristine white beach. Wow. Now this is an A++ experience. Just listen to the waves. And yes, we are on the eastern side of a river, and now I can totally see why you would want to come and hang out and build a house here on the eastern side. Brackish water or not, hey, that was back in the day. I'm sure they are sorted out now. But this has probably been my favorite spot in Stilbaai so far, if I'm honest. I think this is next level. Let's just admire this piece of art. I love South Africa. Oh yes, no question about it. This is a wonderful part of the world. Anyways, let me tell you a little bit about a region here called Little England. Now in 1866, the residents from Riversdale submitted a request to a certain commissioner named Garcia, asking for the local grazing area to be divided into plots so that they could build cottages for personal use during the fishing season. And after years of delays, the first 12 plots were finally surveyed in 1873. A man by the name of Dirk Versveld, who had owned property here since 1896, had a tradition of raising the Union Jack flag whenever he came on holiday. And hence, the development became known as Little England. And Little England is not far from the Tourist Information Office we visited earlier. But another interesting story there about Dirk Versveld and his Union Jack. And I don't know the full story, but I find it fascinating that a man with a surname Versveld, a very Afrikaans surname, would hang a Union Jack on his property. Because the Boers and the English, they were not exactly friends during those years. Ah yes, Luca Love. Luca was here before me here on the beach. We are making memories here in Stilbaai, Luca. No question about it. And when we were at the Tourist Information Office, I told you about the building there, which was the first building in Stilbaai West. It was put up in 1814. However, Stilbaai didn't officially become a town until 1894. Old records suggest that the name Stilbaai came into use somewhere between 1883 and 1895. And of course, over the next century or so, this town became a prime holiday destination, and many eventually chose to retire here. And in the more modern years, like 2025, many young people are also moving here. They escape the rat race, the hustle and bustle of places like Joburg and Cape Town. And I think that's pretty much the trend for South African towns along the coast nowadays. They'll continue to see exponential growth perhaps. But I hope that a place like Stilbaai doesn't suffer as a result of it. They are so big on protecting the environment. Right, let's follow the trend. Right, there we go. Really love Stilbaai. Alright, they've put up a sprinkler here. Maybe that's Stilbaai's way of telling me I shouldn't leave because there's no way out. Maybe I should go back and walk on the beach. Oh, sorry Stilbaai, but I'm gonna have to go. I've got more places to see, not just in your town but in South Africa. So I'm gonna have to make a run for it. There we go, all safe and sound. Right, I'm keen to go and see the preekstoel, the pulpit next. Looks right there on the edge of Stilbaai East. Alright, let's go and find ourselves a preekstoel, a pulpit. I know it's a rock formation, but you do have a feeling of walking onto a stage, or maybe even a pulpit here. Beautiful beach. Wow, just look at that scene. Waves crashing, beautiful dunes and flora, and more of Stilbaai there at the back. Oh, hang on, could that be it? Could that be the pulpit in the water? I think it is, over there. That's at least from the photos I saw online. Oh my goodness, this is incredible. Piece of rock there on its own in the water, looking exactly like a pulpit or a place where a politician or someone important could make a speech. Just looking at photos online, and now I'm not sure if that is it. Let's just walk down there and see if there are any other rocks that might resemble a pulpit. Even if that is not the real Jacob, I am delighted to have seen a structure that looks a little bit different. Yeah, here we go. Does this look like a pulpit to you in front? Yeah, well, sort of, but I wouldn't say for definite. But how wonderful is nature, hey? To have shaped these rocks over so many centuries. And the waves. Yeah, a timeless feel that it gives the place here. No, I don't think this is the pulpit. Or could that be it? Could that be the pulpit over there? I'm not sure. Certainly looks like it can be, and in fact I think that looks probably more like the one I saw online. Let's see if we can get past here. I see a furry friend. Did some hanging out here. Yeah, I'm not sure that will be possible. But what a beautiful view here. Oh, Stilbaai. Just check there. I can only see one person doing fishing. No one that looks like they're giving a sermon or a speech. So I don't think there's a pulpit there. So let me know in the comments, have I seen the real thing over there? I am not too sure at all. But like I said, in a way it doesn't matter, because I have seen something really spectacular. And I've had a wonderful day here in Stilbaai. I can absolutely see why it's such a popular holiday destination. The only thing I will say, and it's not a criticism of Stilbaai because they actually can't do anything about it, but it is quite far to go between the points of interest. So if you don't have a vehicle, if you have to walk, you'll find it very difficult to explore the town. Luckily I could drive to the points of interest, all the various sites and attractions. It is a wonderful place to explore, but you will struggle on foot. Guys, I just want to say a special thanks here to Christian. He's a local. He gave me a lot of information here about the town and I really appreciate it. Christian, dankie vir alles wat jy gedoen het, man.
Dankie, thank you very much.
I'll say. So he's also got his own YouTube channel. I put a link in the description for you. Please go and check out his channel.
And please like and subscribe.
Please like and subscribe. Daar sê, mooi gaan nou, Christian. Daar sê. All right, everyone, let me give you a tour of my humble abode for the night. In fact, I've stayed here for 3 nights in Stilbaai. It's about £30 a night. And you can see it's got not just one bedroom, but it's got a second. In fact, this is the master bedroom. So I guess what I'm saying is I booked an entire apartment for 3 nights. You can see all the facilities here. It's pretty sizable. There's the bath, got a toilet and a shower, and the sink over there, nice mirror, and a bit of an arty touch here with those 2 busts. I've got a table there where I can work and edit some videos. I've got a TV so I don't have to miss my Cape Net programs. I've got a fireplace as well, a braai area, which I can use, and that is the view All right, everyone, I think I'm all settled in. I just need a fire, a fireplace. Maybe that's something I'll do tonight. But it has been a long day of filming, so I am taking a break. It's so wonderful to be back in South Africa and to explore places I've never been to. What a privilege to share this with you as well. I think we can all learn a lot from Stilbaai. It's clear to me that the Stilbaaiers are a proud people. They are proud of their town, proud of their environment, and they're proud of their history, the way they've documented it. I want to say thank you to everyone who made my visit so enjoyable. If you haven't done it yet, please press the like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment for me in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. For now, I just want to say again, thank you for watching my videos, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Cheers, take it easy.